For years, the U.S. electric vehicle market has been powered not just by batteries, but by government incentives. Federal tax credits and state rebates helped millions of Americans make the switch from gas to electric. But now, those subsidies are fading away. And the big question on everyone's mind is, can the EV market survive on its own? Let's look at what's happening. The federal EV tax credit, which once offered up to $7,500 per vehicle, has now been phased out for many popular models as automakers hit their sales caps. On top of that, several states have rolled back or restructured their own rebate programs. The result? The average EV is now thousands of dollars more expensive than it was just a year ago, and consumers are feeling it. Tesla, Ford, GM, and Rivian are all reacting differently, but the theme is the same: slowdown and caution. Tesla raised its lease prices after the federal credit expired. Ford scaled back production of the electric F-150 Lightning. GM delayed several new EV launches, citing market adjustments. Even startups like Lucid and Rivian are cutting back, focusing more on cost control than aggressive expansion. The excitement that once defined the EV revolution is cooling, and what's replacing it is realism. But here's the interesting part. The end of subsidies is exposing what's real about EV demand. For years, incentives masked the true cost of owning an electric vehicle. Now, without that safety net, automakers are discovering whether American consumers truly believe in going electric, or if they were simply chasing a discount. Early signs show a slowdown. EV sales growth has fallen to its weakest pace in nearly 3 years. Inventory levels are piling up, especially for luxury models priced over $50,000. The average EV now sits on dealer lots, almost twice as long as a comparable gas car. Automakers are cutting prices and offering longer financing deals just to move vehicles off the lot. So what's behind this cooling trend? 3 key factors: price, infrastructure, and perception. First, price. Even though EV costs have dropped since the pandemic, they're still out of reach for many households. The average EV price hovers near $55,000, while the average new gas car is about $45,000. That gap matters, especially when higher interest rates make auto loans more expensive. Without tax credits, many potential buyers are stepping back. Second, infrastructure. Outside major cities like Los Angeles, Seattle, and New York, reliable charging networks remain limited. Road trips still require careful planning. For rural and suburban Americans, that's a deal breaker. Until fast chargers are as common as gas stations, full confidence in EV ownership will remain elusive. And third, perception. Political shifts and policy uncertainty have created confusion. Changing administrations and competing narratives about energy priorities have left consumers wondering whether EVs will continue to be supported or penalized in the future. That uncertainty makes people hesitate, but it's not all doom and gloom. Some analysts see this as a healthy phase, a reality check that could make the industry stronger. The end of subsidies forces automakers to compete on real value: better design, longer range, faster charging, and affordability. In short, it pushes innovation instead of dependency. And innovation is happening. Tesla's next-generation battery technology is expected to cut costs by as much as 30%, making smaller, cheaper EVs possible. GM is working on its Ultium platform, designed to simplify manufacturing and bring more affordable electric models to market. Meanwhile, competition from abroad, especially from China, is pushing U.S. brands to accelerate. Companies like BYD and NIO are setting new standards for cost efficiency and range. Infrastructure is evolving too. Private companies are stepping up to fill the gap left by government subsidies. Electrify America, ChargePoint, and Tesla's supercharger network are expanding rapidly. Some gas stations are even converting fuel pumps into charging ports. Walmart and Costco are piloting EV charging at select stores, signaling that convenience-based charging could become part of daily life. And while direct consumer incentives are disappearing, the U.S. government isn't stepping away entirely. Billions are still being invested in domestic manufacturing, battery factories, mineral refining, and supply chain development. The goal is long-term competitiveness, not short-term sales boosts. America wants to build EVs and the parts that power them, ensuring it doesn't depend on imports from China or Europe. Still, one major hurdle remains: affordability. For electric vehicles to dominate the mainstream market, prices need to drop into the $25,000 to $30,000 range. Right now, only a few models like the Chevy Bolt or Nissan Leaf come close. Until automakers can mass-produce EVs in that sweet spot, most middle-class families will stick with gas or hybrids. That's why the next few years will be critical. We're entering a two-tier EV economy: premium electric vehicles for high-income buyers and limited adoption for everyone else. But as technology improves and economies of scale kick in, costs will naturally fall. The EV industry just needs time to stand on its own. In fact, this moment feels a lot like the early days of solar power. At first, heavy subsidies made solar panels affordable. Then, as production scaled and technology improved, prices dropped and subsidies became unnecessary. Now, solar thrives on its own. The EV market is heading down that same road. So, can the EV market sustain growth without subsidies? The honest answer is, it has to. Subsidies were never meant to be permanent. They were a bridge to help the industry mature. Now it's time to see which companies can truly innovate, compete, and survive. Some automakers will stumble. Others will merge, consolidate, or pivot to hybrids. But those that endure this correction will come out stronger, more efficient, more innovative, and more globally competitive. Because the future of mobility isn't about who gets the biggest government check. It's about who builds the best, most reliable, and most affordable car. The EV revolution isn't ending. It's just entering its proving phase. The easy money is gone, but the innovation race is just beginning. The companies that win this next chapter won't be those that relied on subsidies. They'll be the ones that learn to thrive without them. And that's what makes this moment so pivotal. The U.S. EV industry isn't dying. It's growing up. It's moving from government support to market strength, from hype to sustainability. Because the future of transportation won't be decided by policy, it'll be decided by performance. And the automakers who understand that will define the next decade of American mobility.